Good morning. I am Stampindede with Stampidede's Doings, and I'm here this morning with Stampin' Thursday. And every Thursday I try to do something just a little bit different. But this is the third Thursday in February. And the third Thursday of the month, I do mystery card. And I do it a little different. I started out with clues and, you had to figure it out. But I've switched over to making it with you. And I think that makes it a little bit easier. I hope so. And more fun. So today's mystery card, the clues, the supplies that you need were on my website, on Stampidede's Doings, and they were on my group page, Stampidede's Doings and Designs. So if you went to one of those places, you saw the list there. I also sent out an email newsletter with the supplies. I hope you've gathered them, and I hope you're going to make this card with us. So I wanted to hop on and say hello before I put the camera up on the stand. And, that's always a little bit noisy. And I apologize for that. I haven't figured out how to keep it from being noisy. So, hold on. And here we go. All right. There we are. Yay. I hope that wasn't too bad. All right, and I'm going to get you up on my computer so that I can make sure that you see what I see. And there we are. We're good to go. Thank you if you're watching. And please comment and let me know that you're there so that, I know who's watching. And if there's any questions, I can address those. So be sure and let me know. And if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for doing that. Or on YouTube, please subscribe and comment. Let me know where you're watching from. And I always go back and look at my comments. And if you have any questions at all about this card. So this time you needed cardstock, your standard basic base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You needed designer series paper at 3.5 by 4 3/4. You needed either basic white or very vanilla, whichever one you prefer. You need that, 4 by 4. You also need another piece of basic white or very vanilla, which would be no longer than 4 inches and approximately 1 inch wide. And this is for your sentiment. And then other coordinating cardstock scraps, because hopefully you've punched out or die cut some leaves and stems. And I made note of the various sets that you could use, or you could use your bow punch. So you need 6 or 8 of those. The more the merrier. And then 2 to 3 background stamps. And we're going to actually, create a little bit of a background with those. And it can be anything at all. And then your sentiment stamps and any other embellishments that you may need. Hi, Kay. Thank you for watching. I hope you're going to make the card. Hope you got your stuff ready. All right. Today's card, I actually started from a sketch. Those of you who know me know that I use sketches just to get my creative juices going, because sometimes I'm just at a loss. What do I do to make it different? Oh, good, Kay. You'll do it. It's fine. It's easy. I tend to want to make the same card, same style over and over. And I don't want to do that. And also, it helps me to simplify things. I can't spend an hour making every card that I make. Sometimes they just need to be simple. And this one is simple, but it's a beautiful card. So here's the sketch that I started from. It's from the Freshly Made Sketches. That's pretty basic, isn't it? Now, I of course added to it, but that's the basic sketch that I started with, and it's what we're going to start with. So, let's get going. First of all, you need to take your card. Whoops. I just knocked some of my stems on the floor. If I didn't do that at least once, there'd be something wrong. So, you needed to have a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock. And for this one, I used white. And you'll see why in a minute. But hopefully you picked a color. And on my sample cards, I picked a color. So, all right. And we want to give it a good crease with our bone folder. And then you were asked to have a piece of Designer Series paper, 3.5 by 4 3/4. You know what I'm going to do? Because my card is white, I'm going to do this. There we go. I think that'll make it better. All right, so this is the Designer Series paper that I picked for this card, and we just want to get it on. Go ahead and put it on. As you can see, it's this gorgeous Be Mine paper, the back side. So let me get some adhesive on this, and you be doing the same. Put your piece of 4 3/4 by 3.5 Designer Series paper. Put it on your card base. All right. So hopefully you've got yours on your card base. I can tell you that my tape runner is going to run out. I don't know if you can see the red, but I didn't want to take it out until it ran out, because I don't know how much, I don't know how far it goes, but I may have to stop and put a new one in. And it looks like I missed the corner, so I'm just going to take my white glue and get that corner down. All right. And the next piece is a 4 by 4 piece of basic white or very vanilla, and it is going to go right here. But before we glue it down, this is the piece that we want to use our background stamps on. And we're just going to create a background. So the background stamps I chose were the honeycomb out of the Be Mine, and the splatter out of Notes of Nature. So I'm going to use basic gray. Isn't that what this is? Or smoky slate. And I'm also going to grab a piece of white or piece of scrap so that I can stamp off. I want to stamp off. So I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper so I can do that. All right, here we go. So I'm going to start creating a background, and I'm going to stamp it off because I want it to be light. So you do whatever you've got for your background And the first thing I wanted to do was kind of create a honeycomb look. And I'm going to do that again down here in the corner. Because I can tell you that the edges are what's going to show. All right, I think that's all the honeycomb I'm going to use. And now I'm going to do some splatter. And you are doing yours. Uh-oh. Well, that's all right. That's all right. I'm not going to worry about it. And I think I'm going to fill that in with honeycomb. There's so many ways that you can create a background using stamps. And of course, the Notes of Nature die and stamp set is a wonderful way to create a background. And it's a real vintage collage look, and I love that. And I have to resist using that. I have to make myself use something different. All right, I think I have done everything I'm going to do. But I'm going to give you a minute to finish. And then we'll move on. So this set that I'm using is, that I used for the honeycomb at least, is the Be My Valentine set. Be My Valentine. And it's the one where you create a bee, and I'm actually going to use the bee. Although it's not a Valentine card. It's just a general I love you card. Because Valentine's over, isn't it? Yesterday was Valentine's Day, and I hope you got a special treat from your special person. Clint and I are very realistic. We're very, we really don't go all out for that anymore. We did at one point in time, but we gave each other new coffee mugs. So, yeah, we're very, very realistic and down to earth about our, we're going to go out to a special place to eat Saturday. So, that's sort of our Valentine treat meal. We have such busy weeks that we don't have time to do stuff during the week. All right. So, Kay, have you finished your background? And anyone else watching, let me know if you haven't finished. All right. Yay. All right. Now we're going to go on. Now we're going to take our piece of white and we're going to adhere it right in the center. Right in the center here. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I decided that I wanted, why did I do, oh, I know. I'm going to do mine sideways, this one, but the others I did up and down. So you do it the way you want to do it. But, and I'll tell you why I'm doing it sideways in a minute. let me get my, go ahead and adhere your centerpiece. That's the nice thing about a sketch is you can do it any direction. Well, I can tell my tape is running out. It is not cooperating. I think I'm going to have to switch it. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to do this, like I said, up and down. But you do it either way. Either way works. Like I said, I'll tell you in a minute why I decided at the last minute to do it up and down. All right, you should have that. You should have it no longer than 4 and approximately 1 inch wide, and that's because it's going to go right here. So let's stamp our sentiment. And I'm going to use, black. So get your sentiment stamped on your sentiment piece. Okay. My sentiment is "You're as sweet as honey." And it's going to go right here in the center. But we're not ready to put it down yet. When we do put it down, we're going to put it down with dimensionals. But the first thing we're going to do is arrange our pieces. Let me get mine up here. I did a whole bunch of pieces. And I did some from Timeless Arrangements because it sure does make it easy. So I'm just going to start arranging these, and I'll use my sentiment piece every now and then to make sure they show. I'm going to put that one right there. I used one from my color. The rest are green, but I wanted to bring that color out just a little bit. Now, you're just arranging them right now. You're just, and I need to cut my stem off. Okay. And I need to, let's see, maybe this one right here. And you leave some for the bottom. And I did cut one white one. Just, you know, you just want to have that little bit of interest. And now I'm going to look at it. And I know my bottom pieces, and I'm going to cut my stems, are just going to go right down here. Just make sure it doesn't go off the card. I think I've got it. And of course, we're going to have to hold our place here in a minute. And that's the hardest part of this, is holding that place. Thing about it is, all of this is covered under your sentiment. And you see why I told you that really only the edges are going to show. Oh, I hear beautiful birds outside. Oh my goodness. I wish it were spring, but it's not yet. Let's don't get our hopes up, even though our daffodils are blooming. All right, it looks like I'm going to be good to go here. A few more pieces. You know, it doesn't matter how few or how many you use. All right, I'm going to set this down one more time. I can see that this one is going to have to go up some, because I want it to show. I want that red to show. Now, yep, that is going to work perfect. All right, so now, okay, let's see if you make sure you've got yours arranged. I'm giving you a minute, and you know it's not going to be the exact way you're doing it, because you're going to have to take them off. And what I do is I move the top ones up here like that, and the bottom ones I move down a little. That's how I do it. And you know, it's like I said, it's going to be different. It's going to be different for you. So it's one you don't want to get frustrated with. You just want to go with it and be creative. And once you've got them sort of where you want them, then you're going to want to take the bottom piece, which is going to mess everything on top up, but that's okay. Take the bottom piece and just glue it down. And I wouldn't mash it until you take your sentiment piece, because it's going to be in the middle, and make sure that it's underneath. But that's all you need to be concerned about. All right, that's where I want it. And then I had another piece that's going to kind of go on top of that, right over here, kind of that way. And then I'm going to take my red, this piece, and yours will be different. Yours will be different because you're using different things. And I said I'm going to move it up a little bit because I want to make sure that it shows. But I don't want the red base to show. So come back down. Don't mash it down until you've centered it. There you go. That'll work. And then I'm going to take my white piece, and I want to lay it on top of some green because I want it to show. And I have another green one. I think I want to fill in right there. And you know, you may have to, once you get them down like this, you may have to grab a couple more. That's what's nice about the bow punch is you can do it real quickly with the bow punch. And I think I'm going to put one more, a darker one, right over here. It looks like a hot mess right now, but it's not. All right. Yep, that's going to work. That's going to work. And now for the bottom. How are you doing? How are you doing? Are you doing all right, Kay? It's going to look good. It's going to look really, really good. I promise. It's going to look good. It looks kind of messy right now, but it's going to look good. Okay, I want this one. This one's next. Right next to that one. Make sure these are showing. Oh yeah, they're showing. Okay. Then I'm going to put another one over here. Put another one right here. There. And I'm going to put a green one on top of it. Layer it up. I'm going to put another little green one off over here on the edge, just to fill in that space a little bit. And my white one. Pick it up. Hard to pick up. I'm going to put it right here. How are we doing, Kay? And anybody else that happens to be following along, I hope you're doing all right. I'm going to stick this right out here. Yeah. Okay. That is going to look good. Well, I have one more little piece. I might put it right there. Might as well, right? Might as well use it. Right there. Are you finished? Do you have yours all on, Kay? No, okay. Go ahead. Take your time. I promise you, when you get your sentiment on, it is going to look great. It is going to look great. It really will. For your sentiment, you want to use dimensionals. So, get those out and ready to go. All right, I'm going to go on and put my dimensionals on the back of my... Oh, no, before I do that, I want to banner the edges, banner the ends. So that's your choice, if you want to do that or not. I'm a banner girl. I like to banner my edges. I like that look. Okay. And I'm going to put my dimensionals on the back of my sentiment piece. And I'm going to put my sentiment piece right in the middle, centered over this hot mess here. And we're not done. Keep in mind, the first one that I do as a mystery card is my template, basically. It is to go back and look at to make other cards with. So I don't get stressed out about how the first one looks, because it's just to help me remember what I did so I can go back and make more that look more perfect. All right. Kay, are you caught up? Do you have your sentiment on? You know, you can always, too, if you want more greenery, that's why you don't put too many dimensionals on the back, because then you can go in and scoot more pieces of greenery in. If you're not happy with your look, then you can always go back, and I may go back and scoot another one in here. I may have to do that, because it looks a little bare on this side. But you can do that. All right. Now, I had said here, any other embellishments you desire. And I am going to, it doesn't need more embellishments, but I had this bee already made up. Maybe that's what I need to put there or up here. I had the bee already made up, and I wanted to use it. So I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of my bee. What did I do with my dimensionals? No. What did I do with them? Oh, there they are. I thought I just had them. So I'm going to put... I'm trying to decide where I want him to be. I'm going to put him right there. So I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on him. And I'm going to put him right there. Yeah. That kind of ties in the sweetest honey with the honeycomb. All right, and the reason I decided to do it landscape like this is because I already had this center, this 4 by 5 1/4 piece with a bee stamped on it that I ended up not using on another card. And I thought, well, I could use it on this card, but it had to be landscape for me to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this center in while you're finishing up the outside of your card. If you've got gems or ribbon or anything that you want to use on the outside, go ahead and put that on. I'm not going to add anything else to mine, but on my samples, I did. So, all right. I had also colored a butterfly just in case I wanted it, but I don't want it on here. So I'm not going to use that. All right, here now is our mystery card. And I hope you enjoyed making yours. Now, let me show you a couple of samples. After I got this down a little bit, I went back and did a couple of samples. So this one I did because I wanted to bring the gold out in this paper. And so I cut a few distressed gold pieces. I'm going to hold this up where you can see it. Yeah, and then I used the gold flecked pretty peacock gems down here because I used the pretty peacock paper. So this one I did portrait. And the background that I used is from that nature sweetness or whatever that is. And I used an owl up here, but you can't even see him. So it didn't matter. All right. All right, so that's one I did. And then another one, I really love this one. I love the colors. This is Lemon Lolly. And this is from the Cheerful Daisies Designer Series paper. And I did do a butterfly for this one. I don't know if you can even see it. And then I had some Lemon Lolly ribbon. And for my background, I used in that Cheerful Daisies, there's a stamp with 3 flowers and then a splatter stamp. That's all I used is the 3 daisies and the splatter for my background on that one. But see what, I mean, it just makes such a difference. And on this one, I put the splatter on my sentiment piece too, where I didn't do that on the others. So, there you have it. There you have our mystery cards. Let me do this way. Put these in the middle. Put this one in the middle. So, these are our mystery cards. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you'll go and make some more now that you know what to do. And, yeah. So I hope it wasn't frustrating putting that greenery in, but you know, you can always go back and fill it in and do more with it. No problems. Thank you for watching, Kay. Thank you for being here live. And so I want you to send me a picture of your card. So send me a photo of it. I would love to see it. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy. If you're in North Texas, you are enjoying some beautiful spring weather. Now, I know spring's not here yet, but it feels like it because the daffodils are blooming, and I've got little green things from my bulbs popping up all over my flower bed. So, and the weather's just beautiful. So enjoy it. And I will see you next Thursday as we do Stepped Up Stamping. Thank you for being here. God bless you. Bye-bye.